guys. It's currently June 30th. It is 9 o'clock at night, and I am very excited to say that I have the rest of the week off. I am completely maxed out on vacation time, and I just needed some days off, and I've been needing to get some stuff done around my house, and it's just not stuff I can get done on a weekend. So I took some time off, and I have a list. I've been scheduling out my days because there's a lot of stuff I need to do, and I'm very determined to just put my nose down, get it done, not give myself time to have anxiety about it or like overthink it, because then I get analysis paralysis and then I don't get shit done. And that's not the type of life I want to live, you know? And plus, I have to get this stuff done at some point. So it's time to shit or go off the pot, you know? So today is Monday, like I said, so tomorrow is my first full day to be able to work on stuff. I was doing a little bit of prep. I had a little hiccup. My grandma is going on vacation with my aunt and uncle, and so my grandma drove down from Minnesota by herself, and since she was in town, we had dinner tonight. So we went over to my aunt and uncle's house and hung out with my grandma and had dinner. So, you know, good interruption, but an interruption nonetheless. But I did still get some stuff done. Thank God it's summer. It's still light out at 9 p.m. So I was able to go outside and get some stuff done. So here are the big ticket items that I need to get done this week. Number one, the most important, the entire reason why I'm taking this time off, I need to build my chicken coop. I got that shed delivered in March, and it has been sitting tarped up in my backyard. It looks to be in beautiful condition still. I took a lot of care in tarping it up properly because I just knew myself. I knew it was going to be a minute. If I would have known it was going to be like a very long minute, I probably would have waited to buy it. But, you know, I had the money at the time. I think I kind of got to throw myself into these things because it is a really big project. And it's also something, like, I've never built a shed by myself before. So it's a lot of unknowns. And I think, again, I can get in the analysis paralysis of like having to figure out how to do things for the first time and just being overwhelmed and just not doing it. So forcing myself to build the chicken coop. And I think the thing that was holding me up a lot, which is now not so big of an issue, the foundation. So I did not want to put this shed just on the ground. It does have a floor kit with it, so it will have like a wooden floor, but still I didn't want to put it directly on the ground. So I was initially thinking I was going to do a gravel base. Doing a concrete pad is just out of the question for numerous reasons. It's just not out of the question. So I decided that I was going to do a gravel foundation, but then that became a problem because I have to get the gravel here, and I either have to get a local company to deliver it, which is kind of chaotic. My street is not delivery friendly. So that kind of makes it difficult of like, where are they going to put this gravel to deliver it? So, you know, there was that to think about. Also the cost. It's going to be like $100 just to get it delivered, which is very, very expensive. So just the cost factor, and yeah, I just didn't want to deal with it. But then it became, okay, I'm going to have to go to like Menards and get bagged gravel. And it's not like I can just go there and get the amount of gravel I need in one trip. And I have to think about the weight that my car can handle. I do have access to a truck, so that was an option as well. But you know, it just kind of got overwhelming with like how tedious it was going to be. Like I could do it in my car, but it would take me like 4 or 5 trips just to get the gravel here. And it just became too tedious where that's what kind of stalled me, honestly, is just the logistics of getting that there. I have forgone the idea of doing gravel. I am going to go get some because I am going to be doing, basically what I'm doing is putting it on skids. So I am going to put it on like concrete blocks, pavers, which I'm going to be putting gravel underneath those, but I'm either going to do 2 or 3 skids. I coincidentally already have 8-foot 4x4s, which will be perfect for exactly what I need them for. I need them to be skids. So I have 3 of them. The shed that I am building is 6x8, and I cannot remember which dimension is 6 and which dimension is 8. So that's going to determine how many skids I'm going to do, I think. I don't know. I might get away with just doing 2, but you know, I have the 3. It wouldn't really be that much extra work to put in a 3rd one if I feel like it's necessary. I won't know until I'm like actually looking at my shed plans, which is not happening right now. So I'm gonna do it on skids. It's not the most perfect foundation. Like, my neighbors just redid their shed foundation, and they had a concrete truck come in and poured their own shed foundation, which is cool. Hats off to them, rock on. But that's just not me. I don't have time or skill to do that, or the people to help me, and I'm on a limited time frame, limited manpower, limited budget. So it's a chicken coop. You know, the skid foundation is going to be perfectly fine, and if it ends up not working out, hey, guess what? It's on skids. I can move it, and I can put a different foundation on and then move it back. That's the whole point of putting it on skids. That's basically what's going on. It's just the easiest. It's the most economical. I think it is going to be perfectly sturdy enough for the purpose that it's serving. I'm really not that concerned about it, and I feel so much better about this project having an idea in mind of what I am going to be actually doing for this foundation, and it feels very achievable. And it is the least physically demanding option, and it also gets me to the point of building the chicken coop faster. So for all those reasons, I'm doing a skid foundation. I've been watching a video on YouTube about 700 times over, memorizing every step. I'm feeling more confident than I've ever felt about taking on this project. So I'm moving full steam ahead. If I mess it up, I guess I messed it up. That being said, the number 1 goal for this week is to get that coop built. I think it is going to take me 2 days. I am budgeting 3 days for myself. Not that I really have any sort of plan. I just have a lot I would like to try to accomplish. And so I'm trying to break it out by day and also based on the weather. So today it rained off and on until probably about 1 o'clock. So we just got like a sudden downpour this afternoon. It was weird. But today it was kind of rainy. So, you know, like today would not have been a great day to try and, you know, level any ground, set any posts or anything. So obviously not a lot of work happened on the chicken coop today, but there were some things that I needed to do. I needed to move a couple of volunteer plants that I had come up in between my 2 coop situations. I had either 3 or 4 random squash. I don't know what they are. I'm waiting to see a little fruit come on and then I can get a better idea. But then I also had 3 or 4 volunteer tomatoes. And again, I don't know what kind of tomatoes. So I really wanted to preserve those. They were beautiful plants. I hate that I had to move them. What I could have done is just move the chicken coop enclosure around them, because that's essentially why I had to move them, is that will eventually be part of my chicken run once I scoot the chicken kennel over. So I had to move them because the chickens would have just eaten them down to the ground. So I ended up moving them. Again, they're just beautiful plants, so I'm really hoping they stick it out. So I needed to move those plants in order to move the run over tomorrow. I had some dill that I got from my mom's house yesterday. Totally forgot that I got it, by the way, and left those poor plants in pots in my car overnight. Luckily I caught them before the heat of the day, but I had the dill to plant. I had to plant my eggplants. I was supposed to make bread, but I'm not doing that. I didn't do the last thing I was supposed to do, and then I need to clean up some storage on my phone so I can record this whole process for you lovely people. So anyways, that's kind of all I did today. I got all of that accomplished despite having family plans and stuff. So I was able to get all the volunteer plants that I was worried about moved. And then tomorrow I will be scooting the chicken kennel down. I need to do some rearranging on the duck kennel panels. I have the door on the east side of the kennel, and it's so overgrown on that side. I just cannot get into that chicken or that duck kennel easily. So I need to move the door to the other side. So I need to do some pondering about exactly how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to have to finagle that situation in a different setup. So that's going to be moving or rearranging, but I have to move the chicken kennel down because it's kind of sitting partially where the coop is going to go. So I need to move that down, which I am glad that I kind of left that there because I realized the spot that I wanted to put the coop is actually not really where I wanted to put the coop, which is also why we put it on skids. Not that I want to be moving this thing around 100 times a year, but you know, I'm indecisive. Who knows what I'm going to do on this property before I leave it? So I need to build the chicken coop, move the chicken kennel so I can build the chicken coop. I need to bag my grapes. I have beautiful grapevines that are very eager to please. They're producing like crazy. And the last couple days I have noticed that I have so many Orioles in my yard. And I mean, I have like a whole community of them and I love having them, but I realize those little shits are eating my grapes. So I bag my grapes every year. I don't have any of them up here. Usually there's one that's like randomly floating around my house because I have so many of them. But they're like organza bags and they have the little cinched drawstrings, and I have white ones that are, you know, they're like see-through, so I can bag them around my grapes, and then I protect my grapes from all the birds and mostly my chickens, honestly. So I bag my grapes every year, and I need to get out there and do it now. They're still very much green, very much not ripe, but the birds are getting to them. So I need to get on that. So I really need to bag my grapes. I need to mulch. I mean, that's always going to be on the list. I always need to be mulching, but especially my front yard. I really, really need to get out there and tend to it. I feel like all of my focus this year so far has been on my backyard, and it looks beautiful and it makes me happy every time I go out there, but I have so much I need to do up front. So any spare bit of time that I have this week, and especially anytime after I'm done building the chicken coop, I need to be out in the front yard. It's just, I need to be out there. So definitely need to mulch, particularly the front yard. I need to mow. I have not mowed my front yard. I just mowed the backyard last week, I believe. So I need to mow the front yard. I have grass up there. I do not remember what kind of grass it is, but it grows very slowly. It's very heat-loving, drought-tolerant, and it grows very slow in the summertime, which I appreciate because it means I don't have to mow as much. But it does get very thick, and then once it gets to a certain point where it's thick and long, it's like kind of impossible to mow. So I need to get out there and get that cut. I need to plant my garden, still a revolving task that I'm doing. I mean, I don't have like nearly anything planted out there. I always get stuff in late. It's just how it goes. It's really, really hard to do everything completely by yourself. So it's just how it goes, you know? I need to build my coop. That's on my list. And then I also need to trim my trees. There is a branch on my black walnut tree that needs to come down. I bought a chainsaw specifically to cut it down. I bought the chainsaw on Black Friday and I have not brought it out yet. I haven't even set it up. So that's on the list. Also part of setting up my garden is I need to move that brush pile out of my garden. I thought I was gonna get the burn barrel going and I was gonna get that taken care of, but the fact of the matter is, living on the Great Plains, the winds are just so crazy here, and the weather or the wind has just not cooperated enough for me to be using a burn barrel that I probably shouldn't be using in city limits, but I consider myself a responsible person about it, and I take every precaution, and it's a tool for me. So I was really hoping to get use of that, and I just simply cannot. I need to get that brush pile out of my garden. I just need that space, and it's, you know, I need to weed around it. I need to do a lot. So, and I hate doing that because I do feel like I feel like it's become a habitat, and I hate doing stuff like that. That's why I want to really get the spaces that I'm going to be active in. I really want to get them set up so I kind of draw the line of like, this is where the humans will interact. The animals can build around it, because I just, you know, you see the little trails that animals make, like when half of your garden is covered in weeds, you can see where the animals are going through the weeds. And I just hate destroying stuff like that. It really, really kills me. So I hate doing this, but it's a necessary evil. So I just need to get that stuff out of my garden so I can have my garden space back. And then I need to trim my trees. I have a wisteria bush that has never flowered. It's been at least 8 years now. It's just in too shady of a spot, and all it's doing is trying to climb up the tree that it's closest to. And we just can't have that. It's not going to do anything. I'm going to cut it out. It sucks. I hate doing that because I really would love to give it a chance, but I just can't let it disappoint me anymore. You know, I don't have it in me. So that's kind of everything that I'm going to be doing, hopefully, over the next week. I have until Wednesday to have sunny weather. And then after that, it's thunderstorms, partial thunderstorms, nighttime thunderstorms. I really just need to put my head down and get this chicken coop built within the next 3 days. And then after that, you know what? If I don't get the rest of that done, I have the rest of my life to, try and get my to-do list dwindled down. But yeah, the main top priority is building that chicken coop. At least just getting the shed built, and then, working on the actual coop modification later. Just at least getting that shed up is going to make a world of a difference, and just not seeing it sit in my yard anymore. And just, the gratification of having it done and having done it yourself is pretty kick-ass. So yeah, that's going to be my week. We'll see if I live up to it. And I've run out of storage about 7 times while filming this, so I'm going to get my phone cleared up so we don't have these conundrums going forward, because I ain't got time for this week. So I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm getting up early. I'm going to bed now. I'm getting up early so we can get a jump start on the day. I'm going to need all the hours I can get. I don't want to get up. All right, here's what we're working with so far. I got the kennels moved down. They're not exactly in place, but it's close enough. And these are easier to move than an entire shed. So everything's kind of a mess right now, but essentially this is where it's going to go. This is the footprint it'll be. It's not, these aren't set or anything. And originally it was going to be like all the way over here. And then this was all going to be run. I was going to pull these out and extend them. And I just don't think I need it. I don't think I need it. I think I like this spot better. So anyways, I'm running out of storage, even though I spent time yesterday cleaning it out. And I was going to run to Best Buy to get a GoPro battery, but they don't open until 10, and I ain't got time to wait like that. So it is what it is. Trying to record as I go. So I think actually next what I'm going to do is build the floor frame. I just think that'll be helpful for getting accurate measurements and determining how far in I want to put the skids. Right now this is set for the 6x8 footprint, but I'm going to push the skids in at least a foot. I'm only going to do 2 because it's only 6 feet. I'm not going to need 3.
Um, so yeah, that's what's going on, and the timing could not be more perfect because I have Loretta in here sitting on some eggs that I haven't collected, so she's broody. So if I can get this coop built, I can get chicks right away. Couldn't have asked for better timing, to be honest.
Shoot. Thank you. What are you hoping to find?
I need to find. Is it really not going to focus? 7 treated 2x4s and 2 treated 2x4s. Alright.
Hey guys. I feel dead. I definitely earned a shower tonight. I just feel absolutely disgusting. I feel sweaty and dirty. But I got honestly more done than I thought. Sorry, I hate these hair ties, but my head hurts so bad. I got really bad tension headache right now. Anyways, I'm sure my hair is just molded like this because of sweat, but, it's definitely not any better. But, yeah. I mean, what do you say? I got a lot done, not more than I thought, and also not as much as I hoped that I would get done. But it took me a longer time than I thought it would to get the floor level. It was really hard because not a single part of the area that I put it, sorry, obviously dealing with something here. For some reason, the ends of my hair are like, I don't know, they're like starchy almost. There's something weird going on with them. So I really need to go shower. But yeah, it just took, leveling things is not my forte. I don't know why it is so difficult for me, but it really is. In terms of like leveling something on the ground, leveling something on the wall, they make laser levels. And I do have a laser level that I tried using, but unfortunately it was just too bright outside that I couldn't see it. So I basically sat there and hand leveled. I mean, that's kind of the only way to do it, but I went through and like made sure each side was level with, you know, the other sides and whatever, and basically did it individually, and it took me all day to get to that point. So at about, what time is it? It's 8:30 right now. Probably at about 4:30, I think I got to the point where I was actually ready to start putting the floors on. So I got that done. It's really hard to move all of this stuff by yourself. I think the walls tomorrow are going to be interesting, but I think it's totally doable. I'm also really worried about just shifting it on the foundation because it's really just like sitting on top of it. So I'm trying to be mindful of that as well. It's just, it sucks. It's not fun, but I do feel very accomplished, and it looks so much better in my yard not having that tarped up Cybertruck of a pallet sitting in the middle of my yard. I can't believe how much that opened it up. Also, the you know, because I put it on skids, the actual shed itself is taller than I thought it was going to be. It's about 8 inches off the ground, I think. Maybe, I don't know, I'll have to measure it. But yeah, it's a step up. So I'm gonna have to build some kind of stair situation. I put, what is it called? I put landscape fabric underneath. I should have done that before I set the floor framing on top of the like foundation blocks. I didn't do that though, and so I had to do it after. I wanted to do it because I want to deter animals from going under there. The thing I'm worried about the most is mice, actually, because there were mice under my current chicken coop, my little one that I have for my chickens. So yeah, I'm worried about mice. So I think I'm gonna put like a skirt around the bottom, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do like lattice, but then I'll put some small some small hardware cloth. I'll staple it to the back of it so it looks decorative, but also it's functional to keep stuff out of there. I thought about getting gravel and putting it under there, but that would kind of defeat the purpose of me not doing a gravel foundation as a whole. So yeah, it was a day today, and it was pretty much, I was outside from like 7, probably like 8 in the morning to 8 at night, honestly. So it was very sweaty. The heat wasn't too bad until around 4 p.m. My yard gets direct afternoon sun right in the area that I was putting the coop, so I was just getting hammered with sun. I'm really interested to see if I have any weird tan lines, because you can't see it, but there's like holes, like this is see-through on the back of my top, so I'm interested to see if I have an even weirder tan line back there. I'm hurting. I'm very tired. I really have not eaten today. I was just kind of out there focusing on stuff. So I'm hungry. I think I'm going to make some eggs and some turkey bacon or something. I don't know. Breakfast for dinner, most likely. After I shower. I have to shower. And I don't like eating right before going to bed. I always get indigestion, but I don't think I'm going to have any strength tomorrow if I don't. I probably hammered over 150 nails today. I don't know how the Amish do it. I really don't. I do like using nails more than I like using screws, but man, the effort that goes into nailing every single nail and doing one 6 inches around the perimeter, every 6 inches around the perimeter, and then like, yeah, it was so much. It was so much. So I'm sure my whole neighborhood thought I was real annoying after about the 15th nail that I nailed, but after I got the floor on, I figured I'd stop there. It was getting kind of late, and I was running out of steam as I was getting to the last of those nails. It was causing me to miss and to bend them, and so I had to kind of call it. I couldn't get much farther, honestly. So tomorrow is the whole rest of it. It's gonna start with building the sidewalls, which I'm so annoyed by, because I have been checking my diagonals to make sure that foundation or the floor is square about 150 times, because I'm so worried that all of a sudden it's not gonna be square. And it is. I'm really proud of myself. It's really square. It's really level. Never done something this professional before. Granted, this would be the one to do it. I will say the foundation is like just ever so slightly almost not level. It's still within the margins, but yeah, there's one back corner. I don't know how I'm supposed to get them all perfectly completely centered leveled, but it's level. So I ran with it. I'm gonna take the leads that I can. So I went with it. I think it's going to be perfectly fine. I will say it does not look very level, but I have checked it and checked it and checked it and checked it, and I've checked the diagonals, and it could not be any more perfect. So I think it's just the ground and everything else around it is just very unlevel, and that's what's throwing me off. So yeah, it's been a day. Like I said, I really earned a shower. I'm really looking forward to it. And then I'm really, 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 really hoping that I can finish it tomorrow. I was going through and like reading all the next steps and stuff, and it's almost the 4th, y'all. But I was reading the next steps, and I'm not looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being done and never doing this again. But I can't even say that, because it's really not going that horribly. It's really just the leveling of the foundation that was a pain in the ass. I'm pretty kick-ass at squaring stuff now, so I'm not too worried about that aspect. But yeah, the leveling of the foundation was not fun. Not fun. Definitely what took me so long to do. Literally took me most of the day to get that, which I did think it would. I knew that was going to be the hard part for me, is getting it level, because my whole yard is wonky, especially in that area, because the chickens have been digging and they don't dig in the same place, and you know, it's kind of a cluster over there. So it came to the point where I just dug everything up and then tamped the whole foundation down, and you know, did the corners one by one. So I was originally gonna do 3 like paver pads to support the skids, but I only ended up doing 2 on each side, and it's perfectly fine. It's so sturdy. Very, very proud of it, but man, did I put a lot of sweat equity into getting this far as I did today. Still on schedule. Still thought it would take me 2 days, but I budgeted for 3. I do think the 3rd day is going to be doing like little final trim pieces and stuff. I definitely don't think I'm going to get it done tomorrow, but I'm going to try really hard. So I need to set myself up for success. I need to get some food in me. I need to shower. I need to get to bed at a reasonable time. I will say today is July 1st. It's Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to all those who celebrate. I am massive fan of Canada. I mean, you know, it's so close to where I want to live, and it's like all of the YouTubers that I watch are Canadian. Even across like different like genres of video, I watch Canadians. One of my favorite musical artists, Amy Nelson, my friend Amy, please go listen to her music. She's an incredible artist. If you like Delta blues or that like Americana, she has such a unique voice, and I am so truly her biggest fan. And by my friend Amy, I mean we're mutuals on Instagram, and I haven't even been on Instagram in months, so we have like no contact, but man, I am such a huge fan of her. And yeah, I tell everybody she's my friend. So please go support her channel. I don't know if it's weird for me to put a link to her Spotify in my description box, but I think I'm going to. Her song Educated Woman has been getting me through life lately. But I love like all of her songs. So can't wait for her next album whenever it comes out. I haven't been on social media to get the updates, but love her. So she's Canadian. I have my YouTubers that I watch that are Canadian. My whole shed is Canadian imported lumber. So yeah, as for me and my household, we love our northern neighbors, and I just love Canada, and they do not deserve the treatment they've been getting this year. So anyways, with that being said, I'm going to call it here. Obviously, I'm going to go on tangent rants phase of deliriousness. So I'm going to go shower. I'm going to eat. I'm going to go to bed. We'll pick it up in the morning. Hey guys. Feeling very defeated right now. Probably going to cry off camera. For months I've had that shed tarped up in my yard. Haven't gotten a single drop of water on it. Took a lot of care to preserve it, because it has taken me so long to build it. And yesterday we were supposed to have 3 days of no rain and then a week of rain. So I had this 3-day window. I untarped everything yesterday. I separated all the materials out in piles. And I checked the weather 4 times yesterday before I went to bed to make sure it wasn't gonna rain, so I didn't need to tarp everything up again. And I woke up to just an absolute thunderstorm. And I immediately jumped up. I ran outside. I grabbed everything that I could, and I brought what I could inside. I tarped up what I could. I'm just feeling very, very defeated right now. And I know it's because I am still tired and I'm still sore, but this messes up my whole schedule, because now I only have 1 day, tomorrow, with no rain. I can't build it with wet materials, you know? So, I don't quite know what I'm gonna do. I think maybe once the rain stops, I'm gonna bring everything inside. It's just how it's gonna work. And try to let everything dry off as much as possible. And then maybe I don't know, maybe tomorrow I'll be able to do something, but feeling pretty defeated right now. Feeling pretty defeated. As you can see behind me, I was able to get all of the lumber in except for the like siding panels for the walls. I can get them in here. I just threw everything in here so quickly that I need to get it in a little better situation so then I can actually bring those in. But they are tarped up right now. And they're actually leaned up against my tree, and that is like the one spot that doesn't really get a lot of water just because I have a big old tree right there. So they're in a pretty good spot and they're tarped up, so I'm not that worried about them. I'm just more so worried about everything getting dried out, which luckily as I was going through and like picking up this lumber, I did strain my wrist like pretty badly, so that's not cool. But as I was going through, I realized I must have caught the rain right as it was starting, because there's not a single one of these that's like completely soaked through. So I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna figure out what is like really wet and needs to dry. I'm gonna put the fan on it, and then worst case scenario, I mean, the only thing I'm really worried about right now is that flooring situation getting dried out there. Obviously that is the one thing I do not want to be soaking wet, but I do have it tarped up. Once the rain actually stops, which it has not yet, once the rain actually stops, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna blow it with my leaf blower and try to get it dried off as much as possible with that. I know it's not going to do a whole lot, but I'm at least going to get the standing water off of it, because you know it's a perfectly level situation, which means all of the water is staying right on it and not running off. So there wasn't really much I could do. I thought about taking a broom to it and like using the push broom to get the water off, but it was downpouring when I would have done that, so it would have kind of defeated the purpose. So I just quickly tarped it. Cannot believe how much water we got. My rain barrel is completely overfull. Yeah, I figure worst case scenario, let this dry out and then I can build the walls. And you know, I can build the walls in here. It's not going to be fun. I don't want to, but I could build the walls in here and then take them outside once the pad is dry and put them up that way. It is not ideal, but none of this situation is. I was not supposed to get rain until Friday. I wasn't supposed to get rain until Friday. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. That's how it's gonna happen, because frankly, that's how it's gonna have to happen. So I'm gonna get to working on other stuff. Well, I'm gonna get this wood sorted out first, and then I'm gonna have to find something else to keep myself busy. I did have to put my emotional support record on. I was listening to my Led Zeppelin mix yesterday all day, and so Led Zeppelin's my favorite band, but I'm just really in a Led Zeppelin mood, particularly Stairway to Heaven this week for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, so I'm gonna be listening to Led Zeppelin 4 while I sort my life out. And maybe change into shorts because it's a little toasty. All right, I got them all laid out. I tried to space them so they weren't touching each other, so air could pass on all sides of them as much as possible. Luckily, most of these really aren't that wet. I mean, just got a little bit of water on them, so they should dry pretty quickly. I think I just got really lucky. I think I woke up exactly as the rain was starting and got out there really quick, and so most of this really isn't even that wet. Of course, the only thing that did get wet that is kind of impossible for me to dry because I can't bring it inside is the flooring situation that's already set up. It still has not like exactly stopped raining, but it looks like it's about to in a few minutes. It's supposed to get sunny around 10. So it's supposed to get sunny and it's supposed to be slightly windy. So I'm gonna go use my leaf blower to blow off any standing water, and then I'm hoping that the sun and the wind will dry it out as soon as possible. I'm not gonna be able to like put anything up right away tomorrow anyways, so if anything, I can spend tomorrow building the walls, and maybe by tomorrow afternoon I should be able to start putting up the walls and stuff, and hopefully by then it's dry. I really don't think it's gonna be, but all I can do is put out good vibes. I didn't cry yet. I don't think I'm going to. It just felt like such a gut punch, honestly. So yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I'm grateful for the rain, but I just needed 2 days. I needed 2 days. So yeah, I'm gonna figure out other stuff to do. I know I have a list of stuff. I thought maybe, because I am just so bummed out, maybe running to a secondhand furniture store. I thought about doing that. I don't know. I gotta look at my list. I know I have a lot to do, but I do think a lot of it is outside, so I'm kind of SOL in terms of getting that stuff done for the most part. So yeah, maybe I can squeeze it in. Man, I'm just really bummed about how this morning started, but we handled it. That's all we can do. Floor is pretty much already dry. It's been pretty sunny for at least the last hour, and it's been hitting directly on the floor, and I just went out there. I'm sure it's just surface dried, so I am going to let it dry for the rest of the day, and I'm going to be tarping it overnight just in case. But I have to leave it anyways, because the next step is to build the wall frames and get all of the walls built, and then you actually attach them once they're all built. So I don't need to use the floor right now anyways. If anything, I might use it as a level place to build these floors, because I really don't have anywhere else to build them. I thought about doing it on my driveway, but the idea of my neighbors being able to see me like struggle all day long is only going to add to my frustration, and I shouldn't care about that stuff, but I do. Mainly because my neighbors across the street have a big old window that looks directly on my driveway, so I'm not trying to provide afternoon entertainment. So I think maybe I'm gonna build it utilizing the floor as a workspace, but I won't actually be putting them up yet. My dad told me that he has tomorrow off, so if I need help, which I was thinking maybe I might need help just holding up the walls so I can get them secured, but if anything, I can recruit my little brother to help me with that. That's not anything serious, but it does also look like they have budgeted for lumber that was included with the kit to be utilized as a brace of sorts when you're putting up not only the walls but also the doors. So I'm still anticipating that it is very solo DIY doable. So I don't know. I won't know until I'm ready to put them up, but as it stands now, I have to go build all the walls. I did have to take down the right wall.
think after this shed is built, I'm gonna die.